the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
On this Take a Look, we're trading Avengers for attitude. It's a Thunderbolts takeover.
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
David Harbour, Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, Wyatt Russell, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
Yeah, that squad. They're all here, and they're bringing the chaos. Secrets will be spilled, laughs will be dangerous, and who knows, maybe a few Marvel snipers watching from the rafters.
Stop! Please, John, stop! Where are you?
It's Marvel's Misfit crew like you've never seen them. This isn't saving the world, it's surviving each other. Thunderbolts taking over. Take a look!
Sorry about the wait. It was on important call. Highly classified. Lot of work. Many irons in fire.
You feel fulfilled?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so full. So filled.
Hey, welcome back. It is a Thunderbolts takeover to take a look. David, Florence, good to see you too.
Lovely to see you.
All right, how exciting is this? I mean, it's a reunion of sorts, but how exciting is this?
Very?
Oh my God. I mean, we were talking about a potential of this 6 years ago when we were shooting Black Widow. So the fact that we're here and it's such a wonderful thing to be a part of, and we've made a story that we all feel proud of, is really cool.
This movie has an emotional depth and goes to some dark places, but at the same time, miraculously is stunt-driven, action-driven, entertaining, and heartfelt.
Yeah.
How did they pull that off?
That's a great question. Kind of above my pay grade. I mean, a lot of people spent a lot of work on making this movie great. I think what Florence and I tried to bring to it was we had this very complex dynamic that was set up in Black Widow of these two people who are very broken, very flawed, who are trying to do the right thing. And, you know, we wanted to really have them explore what their life is like now. And so that's what, you know, I was really focused on. The movie itself, though, as a whole, as you say, is like so dynamic and incredible, and I just love it. I can't wait for people to see it.
And Florence, there are moments that you have to be somewhere between mildly irritated or massively irritated or under tremendous duress by what he's doing.
Yes.
Yet, as an audience, we are laughing. How do you keep a straight face during some of those moments?
Well, I mean, even in Black Widow, Yelena just finds everything ridiculous and pathetic, and she's constantly she's constantly annoyed by people's stupidity, which is one of her charms. And I think, you know, much like many father-daughter relationships, she is so cringed out by everything Dad does. And even when they're in an argument, there's still a part of her that wants to be close to him. That's what was really wonderful about what we were able to create this time, was that a lot has happened since they haven't seen each other since Black Widow, and they haven't communicated, they haven't connected. And we actually get to see that breakdown. We get to see the argument. We get to see them try and repair their relationship together. And as much as obviously they are skilled and superpowered and are very talented with a knife, they are also fundamentally, adorably father-daughter, and that's what we love watching.
Yeah, family team as well as just family opening up a can of it. That's what I praised David about, and he also praised the two of you in your skills and willingness. So many Marvel, and no offense to Marvel or anyone who uses CG, it's necessary. However, so much of this is practical.
Yes.
Were there times where you wanted to say, yeah, can't we just fill this in with the computer?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not that macho where I do some stunts, but I put in the guy a lot. My stunt guys, two of them who were both wonderful. You know, it is fun though. Like in this movie, there's a character who's very powerful, who's able to do things to me that I can't conceive of. And so I get pulled around a lot, and they harness you up in this suit. They put wires on you, and it's kind of like the greatest Disneyland ride in the world done by the greatest team in the world. So you feel extremely safe. But I like that stuff where I get thrown around. You know, the knees are not up to so much of the fighting, so I like the stunt guy to do some of that. But we did a lot of stuff. I mean, she does an incredible stunt at the beginning of the movie and all throughout. Yeah, but I didn't jump off the second tallest building in the entire universe.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yes, right? Yeah, right. It's true. Crazy people.
Crazy people do that. Who would do that?
Who pulled more muscles during run-up show?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah. I mean, I'm older, so I think I pulled a bunch.
As we lead into this, Jake had so much love for the two of you, both about your stunts and performance, but also the depth and kindness you brought to it. What say you about Jake?
This movie is his. Every single thing that we have been talking about in press that people love is because he fought for it. You know, how you just said that the stunts were shot practically, he fought for that. He wanted us to react to things as opposed to act to something that we can't really possibly imagine. He also fought the fight of getting me to go to Malaysia. He wanted every single character to not only have their own arc, but for us to all really feel responsible to dig deeper within our stories. He was the one that wanted this movie to heavily be about mental health and talking about it and asking for help. Everything that we love about it is because of that man, and he is. He's a genius.
And he takes risks, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about this movie is it was a risk. Like, it does feel very gratifying that people are now, you know, at test screens or out in the world, fan screens, seeing it and really enjoying it. But, like, you know, there is a sort of formula to this world, and there's a lot of people that want you to just do something that we've kind of seen that's simple and Jake kept pushing really hard to take these risks. And I wasn't always like, this is a great idea, man. But it really added up to something where I'm so grateful that he did that.
So true. You two are awesome. Jake, I hope your ears are burning. And when we come up next, we're sitting down with the chief of the village that runs the show. You guys are awesome. Jake, you're next. We'll be right back.
Team to be the heroes on the waiting spot. Is that Bucky?
That's not good.
Hey, welcome back to our half hour dedicated to all things Marvel Studio Thunderbolts. It takes a village to make a Marvel movie. At that village, there's got to be a chief. There's the chief right there, Director Jake. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good.
Outside, as you arrived, teammates huddled, and I heard someone say, "Are you breathing?" This has to be overwhelming for you.
I think, you know, the whole experience is so overwhelming. At some point, you just kind of get used to it and keep your head down. And, you know, I'm just so excited after all that hard work that we get to put it out in the world. You know?
When Marvel hands you the keys to pretty much the most dysfunctional collection of Marvel heroes we've ever had, where do you take it? Where's that drive?
I think that, you know, like when you have characters like that, like you really want to find a way to tell a kind of new version of this, of a story of people coming together, and find a way to go more inward into those characters and really tell a story about something that we all can relate to and that feels a little bit more, you know, like these aren't kind of idols on a pedestal, you know, like they're the regular folks, people who might have thought that they were destined for that. And then, you know, when things go wrong and when things don't work out, you know, the way you expect them to, where do you go from there and what do you do with that?
Yeah, there's as much human as superhuman to these characters.
Yeah.
But you know, you could go too deep and too psychological, and you've pulled off a miracle in that the beauty of this is how deep you go, and yet at the same time, it's fun, it's an action movie.
Yeah, I think, I mean, boy, the amount of stunts we pulled off. I think, you know, our goal was always to kind of end up at that same place where we're living up to the legacy of these great Marvel movies that everyone loves and has as much fun as that and scale and scope, but gets there by taking a different route.
I love you talking about the stunts, because no slight to any other films, because CG is a necessity.
Sure.
Even if it's just, you know, completing, you know, dotting the I's. But in this, I see more practical than I've ever seen in a Marvel film.
We really, you know, it's something Kevin said from the beginning. He said, make it new, make it different, and that felt like a place that we could push things at. And just to say, we had wonderful visual effects companies on this movie, but the theory was always get as much as you possibly can in camera, and then we use the CG to come over the top of that, as opposed to starting from that place.
When I, you know, look at the poster, you have Academy Award nominees, you've got action movie stars in this from before, you have comedic legends in this.
Mm-hmm.
How do you direct rather than just sit back and watch?
I mean, a lot of times you are sitting back and watching. I mean, I think when you have a cast like this, it's just such, you know, such a fortunate opportunity, and they bring so much of themselves to the part. And I think what was really nice is that, you know, yeah, from all those backgrounds, everyone showed up excited to take it seriously and really try to make something unique with this one.
Is it overwhelming at all? I mean, pre-production, by the time you land on the day, you're ready. But at the same time, when you land on the day, and all of the months of planning are there, is it overwhelming day one?
It definitely, I mean, we started with like a very complicated action sequence for our first 2 weeks, so that definitely was in the vault, when they're all kind of, each character is going after a different other character, and we had that sequence, yeah, very, very carefully pre-shot, storyboarded, previs, stunt viz, all those things, but piece by piece, like getting the details of each of those stunts staying on schedule and you know, finding your balance between how much of it is stunts and making sure to have that emotion into it. I mean, that was kind of the biggest learning curve from the start.
An amazing ensemble, and there is no weak link. However, at the front of that poster, Florence, OMG.
She's pretty special, right? Yeah, I mean, she, you know, we always, for me, like from the first time the email crossed my desk about this movie, it was like, she's in it, and if you ever get a chance to work with Florence Pugh, you should take that opportunity.
If someone crawled out of the woodwork and knew nothing of Marvel, you're sitting next to them on a fly at a train, how would you say, watch this movie because...
I think that it's a summer blockbuster, and it lives up to those things, but with a very different story to tell. And you do not have to have seen a single other Marvel movie for it to work. Like, that was something Kevin was really pushed us towards, was like, make sure that it stands on its own. If you've watched them, it'll be more resonant, but it'll work for anyone that comes to see it.
I've sat opposite a lot of directors. I will tell you one thing. I've never enjoyed a movie, blindsided by a movie so much as this. And I've never seen a director with a cooler suit. Ever.
Ah, well,
awesome.
you got,
Nice
across
to see
from
you,
you got quite a fancy suit yourself. You know.
Yeah, well, we're going to sit here and praise each other's wardrobe for a minute. When we come back, it sounds like a sitcom. Ghost and Bob. Next. We'll be right back.
Can't escape the past.
Oh no.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody. You were all sent?
Hey, welcome back to the Thunderbolts Takeover. Lewis, good to see you. Hannah, good to see you. Ghost and Bob, which, by the way, if you say Ghost and Bob, wouldn't that make a great Marvel sitcom?
We should say
Yeah,
more.
Ghost and Bob.
Show.
Let's put it into the zeitgeist. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Ghost first, and Bob. Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost and Bob.
Yeah, I'm happy with that one.
Yeah.
Jump in with the newcomer. Bob, so you're surrounded by, villains, superheroes, assassins, and a ghost. How does it feel?
It's very exciting. It's very confusing to kind of really actually grapple with the fact that I am in the movie, because these movies are so, they have such gravitas and such larger than life qualities about them, and they've always felt like this kind of untouchable universe because they deal with these themes of outer space and superheroes and superpowers. Wyatt Russell said something really brilliant the other day. He was like, Marvel has spent so much time in outer space and exploring that kind of that part of the world, and this is almost like how did he put it? This is like the outer space of the mind.
Inner space.
The inner space, something like that. You'll have to ask him when you talk to him. Yeah, he had such a good way of putting it. This does kind of like turn the lens into kind of a very introspective space, which is really exciting.
Which could, get, some might say psychological, it might get kind of boring or too deep. It does so in this brilliant way where it is indeed deep and talks about mental health issues, yet at the same time, action-packed, heartfelt, and funny.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, all these characters, I mean, they're so colorful and layered, and I think with all of these characters in the story as well, we really push through and drive through the storytelling and have the patience, and I think the patience for the vulnerable and sensitive parts of the movie, and the action. I mean, the action's great.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a moment? Movies rely so heavily on CG. Sometimes they need to. With this, there could have been more CG, but it was all practical.
All practical.
But that means a lot of work from you.
There's a lot of work from us, yeah. And do you know what? Though? I love it. I mean, how can you not do the action of a Marvel movie? I'm like, put me in, coach, because it's like, you don't get this opportunity in life to be able to put on these incredible suits and kind of feel really badass, and it's to really be there in the action, and it's fun.
Don't you feel like in some ways it is a lot more work, but then in some ways it's a lot less work because we don't have to really kind of create this whole landscape in our minds within every scene. I think that was my expectation walking on the set was we're going to be dealing with a lot of green screens. I got to go back into the sandbox of the mind and really get my imagination strengthened up. But it was all there for so like to react to that is such a gift, and to have that on such a scale, just be in those buildings and all those sets that were built so beautifully, it really does does in some ways put wind in our sails.
You know, I guess what I was saying, if you're going to be in a Marvel movie, at some point as an actor, you're going to be in a harness doing something. Is
Absolutely.
this new for you? Any experience about that you want to share?
I've done a little bit of harness work. This is definitely the most harness work I've done. Yeah, you got to get used to the constant wedgie, you know, and that's something you have to learn to love, actually, and make it your friend.
And keep the voice up here.
Yes, yeah, just keep an ear out for your voice, making sure you don't go too falsetto. But yeah, no, it's very exciting to be able to do that and to kind of try and inhabit these kind of characters that have these skills that we don't, as human beings, as pedestrians, and to be able to kind of go back and be a kid and be like, okay, if I were to, be able to move somebody across the room, how would I do it? Would I, everyone has that kind of their own style, and so like building my own signature was really exciting to be able to do.
It is awesome. Wait, we got to wrap it up. So final words. See Thunderbolts because?
Because it's awesome.
Yep.
Because you're gonna be bummed at the watering hole when everyone's talking about it and you don't have anything to contribute.
Amen to that. Nice to hang out with the two of you. Coming up in a moment, from fierce to funny, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
But eventually, you come to realize that there are bad guys, and there are worse guys, and nothing else. Look at you. So adorable.
Hey, welcome back to the Thunderbolts Takeover. Now the stars of the show, Geraldine, Julia, good to see you too.
Thank you.
All right, so how excited are you? Both of you have done a lot. You've never done this. How does it feel?
It's pretty thrilling, I have to say. It is in fact a universe, and we're really super psyched to be a part of it. I've never done anything quite like this, and there's a lot of enthusiasm for the film that we're certainly picking up on, and we share the enthusiasm for sure.
Yeah, and both of you brilliantly comedic, and some of this requires some of that, but at the same time, a lot of heavy lifting, not so much.
Yeah, I think we, both had to kind of rein it in a little bit. I think, this movie is very funny, but is also very emotional and kind of nuanced and has a real grittiness and rawness. And Jake Schreier, our director, comes from an indie film background, so I feel like you can really feel that in the movie. And we had to, lean on him a lot to be like, should we do a joke here or keep it serious?
And I love that grittiness he brings to it. No offense to other movies that rely heavily, exclusively on CG. This looks so practical. So did you think, I'm going to walk in, there's a green screen behind me, only to find this amazing practical set?
Well, actually, I knew it because I talking to Jake prior to making the movie, and he was saying we're going to do things as practically as we possibly can. And to be a part of that was positively thrilling, sometimes very challenging because it required patience and timing and you really had to bring your A game to nail it, but thrilling to be a part.
And once you were cast and the world knew about it, how many of your nerdy friends started blowing you up, asking you questions you couldn't answer?
Yeah, a lot of friends from high school reaching out. I think we've, been kind of, there's been so little that we can say about the movie.
Now, this could plot spoil, so careful dance here. What is the scene you can't wait for audiences to see that you can indeed talk about?
Oh, that we can talk about? Well, the opening scene of the film
Sure.
is a scene which we've seen in trailers, but it's quite remarkable when Florence, who plays Yelena, jumps off the second highest building in the world, and she did that herself with the help of a huge, incredible team of stunt coordinators and so on, but she actually did it, and I think people will be floored by that scene.
Yeah, how about you? Same?
Same. I think there's really incredible sequences in this. And then, I think the final scene of the movie will be very exciting for audiences to see.
Well, our time's up. Even on our show, credits are starting to roll. Any final words?
Go see Thunderbolts!
Yeah, exactly. You've probably seen it already. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on AFN in 177 different countries and territories worldwide, thanks for taking care of the US of A. And thank you. Awesome.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thank you.
The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep the American people safe.
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
So none of us comply? So what, we all just punch and shoot?
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape the past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great savior? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you. This has makings of team that can rise to glory. Bring light from the darkness. This team can be the heroes on the Wheaties box. With a little giddy toy.